Hi everyone, I'm Amy Lee Miller, and today I want to share with you guys a very special story. It's about staying present. One of my favorite spiritual gurus, as I like to call them, once said to me, "You have to be home to accept the UPS package." What she meant by that was staying present. If we're so caught up in our heads, maybe sad or regretful of the past, or worried about what might or might not happen in the future, or just so caught up in our day to day, we might be missing out on opportunities the universe is so desperately trying to place onto our paths to help us get where it is we want to be faster. Okay, example. I used to keep myself so crazy busy, maxing out every minute of every day. And I would stress out over making plans with people because I would think, what if I don't feel like doing that at that time? Or what if I don't get my workout in beforehand? Or what if I end up needing to work late? You know what? I'll just not make plans. Or I'll make the plans, stress over them, and then cancel. I used to sometimes pretend not to see people on the street because if I stopped to say hello, I might be late getting where I was going. And sometimes I would even be short or rude to people because I didn't want to end up getting sucked into a conversation and have my time taken up in a sort of stifling and controlling environment, and I was very unhappy. So once I became an adult, I went to the complete opposite end of the spectrum and made myself so fiercely independent. My attitude was, and still is, I will do whatever I want whenever I want, and no one will hinder this. In a lot of ways, this is great. Independence financially and otherwise, and the ability to rely on myself to work through challenges. However, I was missing out on opportunities. Nearly missed UPS package so far that I know of. Maybe there are many more that I missed and will never know, but one I caught just in time. So about 7 years ago, I moved into my last apartment, not the one I'm in now, but the one before, and I met my downstairs neighbor. She was so nice. She came up to introduce herself with a small little welcome gift, welcoming me to the building, and letting me know that the walls in the building were so thin and my alarm clock was waking her up each morning and not me. And I'm pretty ambitious, so these days I wake up on my own insanely early without an alarm, but back then I was still very ambitious. I would just sleep through the alarm. So anyway, she was so nice, but we actually never hung out. I think we're pretty close in age, but we would always just be friendly, seeing each other in the hallway. It wasn't until 6 years later, when I moved out of the building, she sent me a text asking me to get together with her and some girlfriends. It was such a nice invitation, and it wasn't that I didn't want to spend time with her. However, I kept turning her down. She asked me 3 times to get together, and it was just at the time wasn't working out with my work schedule. I was declining the UPS package, like, "Hello, McFly, is anybody in there?" Back to the Future reference. So a few weeks after I turned down her invitation the third time, something told me I need to reach out to her. I did, and we agreed to meet for dinner. Let me tell you, she is the most amazing, vibrant person I have ever met in my entire life. I had the best time. It actually turns out she's a life coach, and I was just I felt so good in her energy that later that week, I went to her website and I watched all of her motivational videos. And I'm a very driven, motivated person on my own anyway. But let me tell you, the next morning, I woke up and I was on fire. I very quickly worked through everything, or things that had been on my to-do list for months that I was procrastinating on. And I even got started on a very special project. I'm so impressed by her and her story, and I definitely plan to do a video introducing you guys to her at some point. I can't wait to share her story. She actually is or was a surgical PA, physician's assistant. She went to school for that and then went on to get her master's, and actually was in that profession for 12 years. And she hated it. It wasn't until, well, 12 years later that she finally listened to that voice inside of her that was telling her to change course. And now she's a life coach with a tremendous following, and she has helped so many people, including me. life is pretty good. However, there's one area that's a very important area that I continue to struggle with. And I understand that it's because of some deep-seated painful experiences that I've not been able to work through and properly heal from. And I have tried. I've sought out many, many ways, but nothing has worked. And so I kept making the same mistake in that area, and it was really holding me back. In just one session with her, she was able to immediately identify what the issue was and give me useful tools to help me heal from and work through it. I was astounded. I still am. Do you see how by not being present, I nearly missed this very important, I'll say vital, UPS package the universe was trying to give me? Miss your UPS packages. Maybe if a person or opportunity keeps trying to get your attention, there's a reason. And who knows, it could end up completely changing your life in a really good way. I'm Amy Lee Miller, reminding you to stay present and see what comes up.